Show business is a century-long phenomenon. Since the Easter Rising, Sir Peter Anecdote has been a show business legend. Wogan, Forsyth, LaRue, Bassey, Trinder, Formby, Stallone, Connery, Meatloaf, Boy George, David Gower, you name them, Sir Peter has had the same dressing room as them. This is what Sir Peter claims in his unpublished manuscript, Lay Back and Take It Like a Matinee. Sir Peter, welcome to Delane Studios. What does show business mean to you?
Well, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say my middle name is...
Show business?
Do you know, I think I've been here before.
You're among the great post-war show business legends. From your humble origins, where you and your family were wiped out by cholera, you are, today, often found on celebrity wedding guest lists. Who are you exactly?
Well, I'm not surprised you don't know who I am, or how important I am to show business. You must have seen me on television, Trissy.
Well...
Strictly Come Dancing? Ash from Casualty could barely keep up with me.
I don't remember that one.
New Tricks? Played a panto dame with a sprained fist?
No.
Live and Kicking?
No.
The Bill?
No.
Family Affairs?
No.
Ecuador Evening News?
No.
Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit? Inner Space? Orlando? Giving my all as Mary Queen of fucking Scots?
That was Quentin Crisp, and he played Queen Elizabeth the First.
Well, it's funny you should mention her, Madge.
What was that? You're going to claim that that's you?
No, dear boy. I was at Harry and Kate's wedding, actually.
You really weren't.
And that leads me to recall my hilarious story on the QE2.
We have found your one and only television appearance from 1957.
One of many.
Your irremovable status as pantomime dame legend ended in 1990.
Well, it paid the rent.
Well, not in your case. You were an extra in Carry On Up the Khyber.
I turned up at Red Hill Hippodrome with Sissons.
Who?
My pet Shih Tzu, Sissons. I got stopped at the stage door by some grotty little girl who told me that Sissons wasn't allowed on the premises. I said to her, no dog, no dame.
And this leads us to your involvement with Sir Jimmy...
Who? Never heard of her.
You weren't actually knighted.
I remember one of the funniest things that happened in my career was at GWR-FM Studios in '85. I played an evil space dame from the planet Cottage on a charity radio episode of Doctor Who. Colin Baker slapped me in the face for using the C word, so I emptied a bottle of Carver over his head.
Could you not eat during the interview? It's getting everywhere.
I remember it as if it was yesterday.
Seriously, you're getting chocolate eclair in all the recording equipment. Sir Peter Anecdote had ruined the microphone in Studio F. On borrowed time, I realised that the questions I really wanted asked would happen at the start of recording in Studio H. He carried on helping himself to pastries throughout. What was your involvement with children's TV presenter Sir Jimmy...
I've never heard of her. I still see Colin Baker occasionally.
Okay. What was it like being a closeted homosexual in the 1950s and 1960s?
Well, why didn't you ask one, dear? I was married for several years.
Really? From the notes in my moleskin and your self-authored Wikipedia page...
Ah, yes. Wikipedia. My friend Ricardo wrote that for me.
It clearly states, lifelong confirmed bachelor, living with roommate Ricardo, a wardrobe assistant from Ecuador.
Have you booked my taxi yet to the Strand?
The reason you didn't appear on TV again after 1957 is that after recording, you were arrested for gross indecency.
No, you must have me mixed up with one of the other Sir Peter anecdotes. There's about 14.
How old was he?
There's Sir Peter Anecdote, the celebrity chef, Sir Peter Anecdote, the Vietnam War hero, There was that Sir Peter anecdote that was guilty of that atrocity in Djibouti. And Sir Peter anecdote, the Showbiz legend.
That was you.
No, that's the other one. He's the one you should ask about the shoplifting, the cheap facelift disaster in Ecuador, and the rent boy found dead in the Do-It-All car park.
The Do-It-All car park in Avonmouth.
Who knows?
In 1990, you played Sue Pollard's leading lady at the Bristol Gang Show at the Bristol Hippodrome.
I had nothing to do with Hudson's disappearance. I was on stage that night, then retired to my dressing room with a bottle of Thunderbird. I don't talk to Sue Pollard anymore. You'd have to hear it from Sissons.
That would make your Shih Tzu over 40 years old.
Well, obviously you wouldn't speak to him. You'd speak to his ghost, Trissy.
You want to pause this interview in order that the ghost of your pet would give you an alibi the night a rent boy was murdered.
Yes. Well, my name must be cleared so that this interview can come to a satisfactory close.
Sir Peter Anecdote postponed the interview in order to contact the ghost of his dead pet dog. It took an hour. Sir Peter went into a trance, sounding like he was trying to swallow toast as he slept. He emerged from the trance with an answer.
Sisson said that I was on stage with 100 boys. Case fucking closed.
Apart from a possible media-prompted prosecution, what's next for Sir Peter Anecdote?
Well, it's Friday, isn't it? Bottle of Lambrusco, maybe a microwavable beef madras, episode of Holby City, perhaps take Sissons for a walk on the common at midnight. It'll be a quiet one, I've got the painters in.
You're going to walk the ghost of your dead dog?
Yeah, who else? Ricardo works as a private detective to support himself. Usually I bump into him on the common at midnight.
Sir Peter Anecdote, thank you. The Tristan Garrel-Cambridge tapes were written and produced by Tristan Garrel-Cambridge, directed by Poppy Chlorobible, and the executive producer was Lloyd Tarmy.